Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are. I feel very Italian. I don't know why. Guys, it's Watch Us Trade Live. Watch Us Trade Live. It's Monday Market Preview. Monday Market Preview with the precision guided munition known as the Cowboy. And just Frank. Just Frank's here.
No, you gave me.
Oh, the Ever Seen. The Ever Seen is here.
The strongest man ever seen. That's what it stands
Ever
for.
Seen.
Which is ridiculous.
Nobody could lift adult male toys in the mass quantities as the Ever Seen.
Mail order toys.
Mail order toys as the Ever Seen. Yes.
When you say mail toys, how are you spelling mail?
How are you spelling that, dude?
Mail order? Or I don't know.
A lot of things going on in the BTC market, and folks, before you even get into that, go over to watchustrade.io, watchustrade.io, and join the club. Join the club that makes it happen for you. It's better than the hair club for men. It's better than the shoe club. It's better than the vitamin club. It's better than the fruit of the month club. It's the club that gets it done, and that's called the Watch Us Trade room over at watchustrade.io, where right now we're still running that special. $7 for 7 days. 7 for 7, baby. That's 7 for 7 will take you to crypto trading heaven. Let Z and Cowboy show you how it's done while you have some fun being entertained by the two mavens that make it rain. And with that being said, gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey, I got one more thing. I know people are starting to get tax documents. I'm seeing them come in. Don't forget what we've got going on at remaincalm.net.
Right.
We have a wonderful product that we're helping promote for Ace of Coins, Mr. X himself. And we've got the 1099 Buster, and we've got the blockchain trust. So check those out. If you're into cryptos, if you're on any exchanges, both of those products are probably relevant for you. So all the information is there. And with tax season coming up, you want to check those out as soon as possible, especially the 1099 Buster. You want to look at that right away. So that's at remaincalm.net.
Nice.
That's all I had to say.
.net.
Remaincalm.net. Yeah.
Don't freak out. Remain calm.
You know, actually, I don't. We don't need to go too far into this as I clear my throat. With Remain Calm, I have a great experience recently. I had a tax document come in from my LLC from I have it in another state, and it's one of those bulletproof LLCs that you get set up. And that tax document came in. I had a question, and I was concerned about it. It took just a couple of days, but over the weekend they got back to me on a Saturday at 6 or 7 p.m. with email, and the email had a document that's like, "Hey, send this to them. Do it this way." And I mean, it was all done for me. So it's a pretty darn good service. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, I didn't tell you about that, Frank. But yeah,
no, that's a relief.
Yeah. Frank was on Friday. I'm like, Friday, I don't have much time on this. It was my fault. I got a document that I didn't check for weeks, so it's my fault that I'm kind of down to the wire on it. And then anyway, so they got back to me pretty quick. It's pretty impressed with that. And I think that now is the new 2015 for crypto. I'm excited to be here when the price is so low, because even though it might go a little bit lower, I think it's going to go up. And there's a lot going on in the space. We've got some interesting news. I mean, Frank, what do you have on the radar? Is there
one thing that there's a lot of hype about, and I know in talking to you want to kind of tap this down a little bit. Is this people are correlating the one of the decisions coming up on an ETF with what's going on in the government's shutdown, and maybe making a little bit too much out of it. Do you want to comment on that a little bit?
Yeah, there's an article out saying that if the government is still shut down by the time the ETF decision comes up, and gosh, I feel so terrible. I don't remember when it is, but I want to say it's January 30th. See, you got the article while I'm talking. I'll look it up, but basically, I doubt that would happen. So, if you look back in history, when the ETF for gold was created, gold, and not too long later, just mooned. There's a Jake Chervinsky tweeted, technically, if the SEC fails to approve or deny an ETF by the deadline, the ETF is automatically approved under, this government code. Now he did say this properly, the next part. He says, in reality, that won't happen. The SEC will handle it one way or another. They'll put it off one way, put it off another. So Jake Chervinsky was actually doing the job of tempering it down. Like, hey, guys, don't get too excited. And that's just one thing that I think is really important in trading. One of the things that I've really been focusing on in the What Room is making sure that people are understanding that their emotions really don't change the market. So if you're excited about the market, it's not going to change the market. If you're mad at the market, it's not going to change the market. And so I try to stay as dispassionate as I can, because trading is just, technical. And yeah, fundamental, all that stuff. It's not emotional. Now it is emotional in a sense, because people will act emotionally, and the market cycles will go up and down based on those emotions to a degree. And if we understand what those emotions are, like a robot from the outside, then we can take advantage of those emotions. But getting emotional about my trades has done nothing good for them. So that's one of the big things that I've been hammering home lately. And things like this are a great thing to look at. People get this glimmer of hope. Oh my gosh, the ETF, there's a technicality, and the government shut down, and it's all a big plan, and they're going to approve the ETF, and while it's shut down, it's going to happen, and I'm going to put everything in. No.
That's never going to happen, folks. Never going to happen.
Yeah, that's a big that's a big negative.
That's helpful. Yeah, that's very helpful.
A
lot of hype in the crypto markets, because I mean, as we saw and as we know well, it's what's the word? It's a lot of newbie investors, because it's so accessible. It was so fun for a little while. So yeah, we don't want to be too emotional about it. We want to be logical.
Yes, always logic, Jim.
Yeah.
Pure logic. So
are you a Star Trek guy? Have we talked
yeah, I love it.
Are you watching the new one? STD, they call it.
Star Trek STD sounds contagious, Frank.
Exactly. No, they call it's Star Trek Discovery, and a lot of what I call the conservative nerds really hate it. It's got a lot of social justice warrior kind of overtones in it.
Well,
I have to admit that I like it anyway. I like it anyway. I still like it anyway. I prefer the Star Trek ripoff Orville to that, but I like them both. I'm still watching them. So.
The Orville.
I love Star Trek. I used to watch a lot of it, but actually right now I simply don't watch television, not any of it.
Right.
I have Netflix. I'll watch Stranger Things when that comes.
Yeah, that's all. That's when I say TV, I mean Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, even I don't know anybody. Very few people that are not geriatric are using cable anymore.
Yeah.
But it's even my father-in-law is going to switch to Sling, but
yeah,
but in reality,
cable's in trouble when our parents start switching over, which I think my parents mostly watch an Apple TV, I think, at this point. Hey, Romero, yes, I did see the Vader fan film, and it was awesome. Loved it. If there's a like 16-minute Darth Vader fan film that came out, and man, it's just awesome. It's so cool. I think it's part 1 too, so I think he's going to put more out, but it's very cool. Anyway, the non-nerds in the audience are probably starting to hate us. Yeah, so let's look. This is the Monday market preview, so let's look at what's coming up unless you guys have other news to talk about. We want to hear your thoughts on what's going on in the market this week when it comes to BTC.
This week, Bitcoin is in a kind of a funky place. It's been in a funky place since, let me look at the calendar, kind of mid-December. So I'm going to zoom out to this fractal chart that I created, and it's played out pretty well. You can see that it went down instead of up. I thought it would go up. So, my secondary path is the direction that it took so far. It hasn't broken this kind of large consolidation, this big triangle that I drew. So, we haven't seen a break of that just yet. So it's, like I say, it's funky. What I'm looking at and I'll zoom out to kind of show what we have. Oh no, that's not a zoom out. That's a zoom in. Let me switch to the daily chart on this fractal chart. So it's going to look a little bit noisy, but it'll do the job. So we're looking at basically a big giant bear flag, really, is what that is. Although if you followed the bear flag to completion, that would take us really low. And when I say completion, I'm talking about the way that bear flags are measured. I just don't think it's going to go that low. I think the next move we see in the next few weeks, I mean, there might be some playing around inside this triangle. We might go back up a little, go back down. But ultimately, I think we'll drop out of this triangle and we'll head down to this, what was the yearly low. So it'll be like the 3150 if you're looking at the USDT price in Binance. I believe that's somewhere around 3100, roughly for Coinbase or something like that. So I think we're going to kind of fall out of this triangle, come down to this 3150 area. Now that could be a double bottom. There's always that chance that that might be it. You could bounce off that. We could go up. If we don't, then I think we'll fall. And I do get the feeling that we will. Some of the rumors out there are that the institutional money's got, sitting in the sidelines waiting. My opinion is, why are they waiting? Well, they must be waiting for the price to go down. Otherwise, they would be getting in. So, I think the price will come down. The rumor I heard is that a very large financial company out there, a big, huge investment company, has been pushing the price down. One in particular has been spearheading the effort, and the information I got is unconfirmed and came from a source, and blah, blah, blah. But it makes sense.
It rhymes with squawk, squawk.
Right.
The company rhymes with squawk, squawk.
Squawk, squawk is what it rhymes with. So, and almost in many syllables too. But, long story short, I think that there is going to be a drop. I think it's going to drop to at least yearly lows. If we double bottom there, that would be awesome. Historically, we're looking for a few things on the back testing end. I know Yo Mammy, who works for us in the room.
What'd you say about my mammy?
Yo Mammy did some pretty in-depth back testing. I did a lot of my own, but we kind of like his model that he created. And so right now, I mean, to even use that, I'm flat, he's flat. Flat means that we don't have a bias either direction. Once we hit that 3150, I believe there will be a bounce. Now, whether or not that is a short term, like a dead cat bounce, or whether or not that actually goes up high, will be seen when the price action plays out. So we'll be kind of watching that. And the fortunate thing is that, when you're looking at it as often as I am, then you will get clues as the price action starts to break resistances or supports. That's when you have an idea. Oh, okay, well, based on this, I think it's going to happen that way. And that information is usually not quite available until you're sort of in the movement itself. So the end kind of way of putting it all is, I think we'll see a drop. It may go below 3150. It may come to 3150, but I think that's ultimately what we're going to see.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, man. Anything else you guys want to add, or are we ready to move on?
No, we didn't. We had some wins. Actually,
right? Yeah, we meant to start with that.
We meant to start with this. Yeah,
my bad.
Yeah,
amazing
about
wins.
The wins, baby.
Yeah,
like 45% last week.
Wow, that's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, there's there in times like this, there is a way to make a good estimation as to which coins are really going to pop hard. And anybody who's watching is seeing all these altcoins just take off. But the thing is that you don't want to just put your money in any old altcoin. That's not going to help. You want to kind of have an idea which ones are going to go, which ones are not. And I had a very bittersweet situation where, like, everybody in the room made a bunch of money on one of my calls yesterday, and I didn't.
Why? How'd that happen?
Well, I was in GXS, and the price fell, and I'm a conservative player, and so what I do is, when I think that there's danger, we made some nice profits the last 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. We made a bunch of money on a few different calls, not just this last week with the 45%. We, like, the week before that, we made some gains. So when I have some wins and I've clawed back some losses and even kind of stacked on top of that, and I'm actually ahead, and I see kind of like a danger Will Robinson in the market, I just go ahead and pack it in. I take it all, put it into true USD, and let the market do what it does. And if I miss a trade, I miss a trade. Well, about 5 minutes after I announced that I exited GXS, it pumped, I don't know, like 80% or something stupid. In fact, let me put it up on the chart. Not this. Yeah, this chart's GXS. So that big green needle right there. Let me zoom in. That's on the daily. So that's, I mean, look, this is on the 4-hour chart. Needle like this on a 4-hour is dramatic. See where my mouse is right there? That's where I exited. Nah, not even closer. Right here. Because I exited like several minutes before it was going to happen. So if I go like to the hourly chart, I exited like right here, right where the mouse is. You know, there was a big fat drop in Bitcoin earlier that morning, and I was just kind of reading the charts. I was looking at Bitcoin. I was watching everything. I didn't exit right away. I gave it a minute, and you know, GXS actually held on. It went down a bit, but it held on. And then I was just like, you know, I'm gonna play it safe. That's what I do, and I did. And I got out, and bam, look at that. Big fat needle. Fortunately, I got out a few minutes before it happened. So a lot of the people who, you know, maybe were going to get out didn't. And, you know, I had one guy in the room curse at me in a great way. He was like, actually, he didn't curse. He rhymed. He's from Ireland. And he's like, clucking bell, which sounds like something else. I think he said, I've never made that much on any investment ever.
Wow. That's really cool.
So there's that.
WatchUsTrade.io.
Yeah, WatchUsTrade.io. I mean, here's another one. Steam. I knew this one was going to pop. I got into Steam somewhere back here, you know, somewhere kind of in the where Steam BTC is. Price is at 1100. Oh no. Where did I get in? Yeah, I got in kind of in this area, like right around here somewhere. Okay. And it just, you know, it took a few days, and after 3 or 4 days, it mooned. And, you know, my targets were set, I think, just up in this area. They were not, I mean, they were kind of not that conservative, but I'm tending to.
Was there news or something for Steam? What made it jump so much?
No, this is where you know, I don't play news. This is the cowboy you're talking to. This is.
I'm just curious. Looking back, was there a reason other than just
technical.
Market? It's just technical. Okay.
Yeah. So what's going on right now is Bitcoin is in a consolidation. It's to the end of a consolidation. There's very little volume. It's moving slowly. So, you know, a lot of people have kind of, you know, made some money on their Bitcoin in the last bit of volatility. And so when Bitcoin goes flat, then the alts come out to play. And so, you know, the alts, it gives the alts room to breathe. And so people start spiking in alts. And literally it's like gambling. You know, people are just, you know, which one's going to go. And then, it's just literally technicals, and there's things to look for as to whether or not, you know, something's going to go up. There's a way to know the profile of a coin that could go up. Doesn't mean that it will. But I went ahead and entered a couple, and 2 out of 3 went off, and the third one's in profit. So, you know, that's let me see. We made 20% on Steam, one of our guys. Made 20.1% on Steam and 25.6% on GXS. And so, yeah, 45% was made on those trades in a bear market, not to mention the 6 or 7% that was made on a different coin that we're still in. So
cool.
Very well done. And that brings us to the end of the broadcast, folks. Thank you all for listening and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Tell your friends, your family, your neighbors, everybody about Watch Us Trade. And join the room. Join the room. Make it happen for yourself. WatchUsTrade.io. WatchUsTrade.io. 7 for 7. That's where it's at. 7 for 7 will take you to crypto heaven. All kinds of gains while Crypto and Z makes it rain. And with that being said, I am the Gorilla. He is the precision guided munition known as the Cowboy, and the one and only man who's known as the Ever Seen, Frank. And we're over and we're out.